All right, Coach, coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports brings us to Southern California and Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Indianapolis Colts and our home team. Now the elder statesman of the NFL, Adam Vinatieri, set to get us started. And we are underway in Southern California. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, 380. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Melvin Gordon, the two-time Pro Bowler, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Well, this Week 1 matchup between the Colts and the Chargers, there are a couple of ties between the two franchises. Of course, Colts head coach Frank Reich, he spent 2 seasons as the Chargers offensive coordinator in 2014 and 15. Then he would have 2 years as the Eagles OC before coming to Indianapolis. But also, Colts fans, they do not have good memories of the 2007 and 2008 seasons, both times losing to the Chargers in the playoffs when they felt like they had a team that could have gone to the Super Bowl.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Rivers. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
This is Marlon Mack, 3rd-year running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Brissett. Ebron caught left side. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On 2nd and 7, Rivers. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Rivers to throw it. Going for it all. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Exit.
Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. From the gun, Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, bounced right back on it, keeps possession. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
That's it, baby. You don't work.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Joey Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Brissett. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Let's go. Pittsburgh. Watch the slip. Watch the slip. Hey, watch the left. Watch the left.
Out of the gun, Brissett. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Rivers on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And it's complete. Henry. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
This a give to Mack running to the right. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. 1st and 10 right at the 20. To throw is Brissett. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
To throw, Brissett. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Joey Bosa able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Vinatieri's kick is good. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg, maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting him the way he's booting him, keep going, big guy.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 26-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Rivers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Allen, the intended receiver.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go. 60 outlaw. Double tight, guys. Double tight. 3 down. 3 down.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Brissett now, and that's going to be intercepted. It's the all-pro safety Derwin James, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit that sack to Jabal Sheard. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it...
And that's intercepted. It's Darius Leonard, the 2018 Defensive Rookie of the Year. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Yeah, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah.
And that's going to be intercepted. It's the all-pro safety Derwin James. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Following the interception here, Rivers. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Darius Leonard, the linebacker, able to break that one up. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rivers, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Looking for Inman deep. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Come on now, let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing. Brissett. Being chased out left. He'll run it. And he slides to avoid the hit. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Brissett. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
At the 35-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll go again here with Mack. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd down.
Come on, set. Let's go, deep, tighten up. Let's go.
Brissett on 3rd and 2, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Gordon, a Pro Bowler for the second time last season, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns, and that was only in 12 games played a season ago. And he also switched jersey numbers in the offseason from 28 to 25, and 25, that's the number he wore when he was dominating the Big Ten college gridiron for the Badgers of Wisconsin. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
Well, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now Gordon on first down. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the Colts 35-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers. They'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun. Rivers is going to let this go for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Brissett. And that pass is going to be intercepted by the All-Pro DB Desmond King. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career. You're
saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen, that'll bring up 2nd down.
Ready! Set 180! We're pretty quiet, G. We're pretty quiet. Wait, 89!
Throwing again. Rivers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Quincy Wilson with the INT. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Check, 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 check.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Brissett. Ebron with it over the middle. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive there. He hits the reliable target. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Chargers' 17-yard line.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Here's Marlon Mack. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now it's Mack, draw play. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Colts are going to jump back in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 44. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full street.
Play fake, Brissett. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
At the 44-yard line.
Phillip Rivers, no stranger to fourth-quarter comebacks. He's led the Chargers back to victory 26 times coming into this year. But work to do here if he wants to add another notch to the belt. And now here is another interception. Picked by Pierre Desir. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 42. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. On first down, Mack. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Mack. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you talk to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
On third down, a run by Mack. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point is supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
Different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. The sack by Marcus Hunt.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the rookie from Temple, Rock Ya-Sin. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
190. 58 to Mike. 58 to Mike.
Rivers now to throw on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Rivers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Intended for Mike Williams. Incomplete. It's now 3rd down and long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Rivers. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope. No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Get ready. Got it. 49. Mike's 49. He can't hang.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. So this one winds up in Indianapolis victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the Colts, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.